Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, what an immense pleasure it is to welcome you to the third annual Atlantic Council Global Energy Forum. For those who have joined us before, welcome back in this new and exciting venue. And for those who have joined us for the first time, we hope you find it valuable and return for years to come. It isn't just what you will learn in the next couple of days that you'll find profitable, but also the set of relationships, friendships that are built here. There is no better place in the world for this conversation than Abu Dhabi. It lies at the crossroads of so many key energy trends, trade flows, and technologies. There are indeed few places that have such a balanced foundation and the energy sources that have dominated the 20th century and the new energy sources that will come to dominate the 21st century. And importantly, for our discussions today, there are few places in the world with such a far-sighted commitment to driving innovation across all of these energy sources. It is our greatest honor to hold this forum under the patronage of His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, Crown Prince of Abu Dhabi and Deputy Supreme Commander of the United Emirates Armed Forces. The patronage of His Royal Highness and the engagement of this sort of high-level group underscores the relevance of the themes we discuss over the coming 2 days and how central they are to ensuring a global order that is inclusive, prosperous, and peaceful at a time when so many forces are pulling in the opposite direction. The UAE recognizes the crucial role that energy plays in the global order, and we thank the UAE for its generous hospitality. We're also particularly delighted to gather here in the Year of Tolerance, the UAE's Year of Tolerance. The UAE's promotion of tolerance carries on the legacy of Sheikh Zayed, and the Atlantic Council is pleased to play its part in the dialogue that takes place in this country between many faiths, nationalities, and backgrounds. Our mission, the Atlantic Council's mission, since our founding after World War II, has been to foster constructive dialogue and cooperation among partners and allies to secure the future, working together to secure the future. A simple sentence, very hard to execute. In today's world where intolerance so often takes precedence over tolerance, our mission has never been so urgent nor so important. The UAE role in its region in the world has never been this crucial. This event has brought us together today in an important time, and it would not have been possible without the tremendous support of our key presenting partners. I first want to salute Minister Suhail Al-Mazroui and the UAE Ministry of Energy and Industry. Thank you so much. Dr. Sultan Al-Jaber, UAE Minister of State and CEO of ADNOC, and Khaldoun Al-Mubarak, CEO of Mubadala. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your generous support and partnership and commitment to continuing to develop this forum as the agenda-setting event that kicks off the energy year, where trends are untangled, deals are done, and priorities are issued. And I know that there are as many questions as answers in the next 2 days. We're also extremely grateful to the forum's Platinum Co-Chair, Majid Jafar, CEO of Crescent Petroleum, to Tony Douglas, CEO of Etihad Airways, our official carrier, and to Adam Sheminsky, President of our Knowledge Partner, and the King Abdullah Petroleum Studies and Research Center. And Majid, we're also happy to have your father here as well. Thank you to all of these gentlemen as well. Thanks also to our other partners and sponsors who've made this event possible. And finally, thanks to our international media partner, CNBC, and other key media partners, Abu Dhabi Media, the National, Oil and Gas Year, Sky News Arabia, and Quartz. We are pleased to be playing our role in also kicking off Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, which has cemented its role as the focal point for the future of energy and sustainability trends. It is a tremendous honor to play this role in conjunction with ADSW, the largest gathering on energy and sustainability in the Middle East and probably the world. In kicking off ADSW and the annual Global Energy Calendar, we will address three main issue areas. Number one, the future of oil. The volatility of oil prices has left many wondering where the market will go in the next 12 months. And thinking long-term, we need to ask, what is the role of the crucial oil and gas industry? Number two, digitalization. New technologies promise to generate efficiencies across the energy sector, enhancing energy security and reducing emissions. But new risks could emerge as competition for technology leadership creates new geopolitical risks. Some of us had our own introduction to the digitalization question visiting the breathtaking panorama room of ADNOC yesterday. Number three, diversification of countries and companies. For overlapping reasons, both energy-producing countries and energy companies are looking to diversify their efforts, moving downstream into renewables and even into nuclear. What strategies can companies and countries leverage to maximize revenue and ensure stability over the short, medium, and long term? So these are three big questions, but we also added a region this year. We will address these issues in the context and the challenges and opportunities in East and Southeast Asia that will change both supply and demand for energy. We are pleased that we have exceptional experts, business leaders from that region. And now I'm honored to introduce the Atlantic Council's Executive Chairman Emeritus, General Jim Jones, who will formally open the forum. General Jones graciously answered the call to the Atlantic Council Board of Directors to serve as our chairman not once but twice, having just finished his second term at the end of last year. He is the only person to serve twice as the Atlantic Council chairman alongside General Brent Scowcroft. General Jones' previous service, from National Security Advisor to President Barack Obama, to Supreme Allied Commander Europe, to Commandant of the United States Marine Corps, illustrates the incredible depth of his commitment to causes larger than himself. General Jones, thank you for all that you've done for the Atlantic Council, for the world, and for our country. Let me turn the floor over to General Jones.
Thank you, Fred, very much for that kind introduction. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a great honor for me to work with Fred Kempe for almost a decade and to have served twice as chairman of this great organization called the Atlantic Council. And I particularly enjoyed the last year and a half of service as Atlantic Council chairman while the board searched for a permanent replacement for Chairman John Huntsman, who, as you know, is presently our ambassador to Russia. I'm very pleased that the Atlantic Council has found an impressive new chairman of the board, John Rogers, who officially started his term on January 1st. John is Executive Vice President of Goldman Sachs. He serves as the firm's Chief of Staff and is Secretary to its Board of Directors. He also possesses a wealth of experience in the public sector, including at the White House and at the U.S. Treasury. I have no doubt that he will be a great leader for the Atlantic Council as it concludes this decade and enters a new one, ripe with opportunities and challenges. I'm honored to continue supporting the Council's exciting global activities by serving as Executive Chairman Emeritus, and I hope John is able to join us here in Abu Dhabi next year so you can all meet him personally. Our Atlantic Council is driven and, in fact, informed and led by a board of directors and an international advisory board. I want to personally thank the members of these boards with us here in Abu Dhabi for their engagement and support. Philippe Amon, Mark Bernstein, Halima Croft, Ankit Desai, Claudio Descalzi, Gianni Di Giovanni, Paula Dobriansky, Mehmet Gunal, Amos Huckstein, Yongsoo He, Majid Jafar, Ernie Moniz, Dick Morningstar, Dan Poneman, Ellen Tauscher, and General Chuck Wald, all names that are very well known to you, I'm sure. Your Royal Highness, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, friends, thank you for being here today. It's terrific to be back in Abu Dhabi for the third year of the Global Energy Forum. Abu Dhabi is a key hub for development, not only in the region, but across the global energy sector. Last year, we met here to discuss and shape the energy agenda for 2018. 1 year later, many changes later, the need for this forum is more apparent than ever before. As a former national security advisor to the President of the United States and former military commander, my area of expertise is peace and security. And the role energy plays in ensuring that stability and prosperity has always been very clear to me. The reverse is also true, that peace and security are crucial for functioning energy markets. So now more than ever, energy leaders must be prepared to respond to a rapidly changing geopolitical environment. This includes the tectonic technological shifts that increasingly determine our energy destiny, from those that unlocked the shale revolution in the United States to the next generation technologies that will feature very prominently in this year's forum. Energy, just like the world of defense and security, is increasingly leveraging new digital technologies, including artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, 5G, and beyond. And these technologies are not just unlocking new opportunities for producers and consumers, they also play a tremendous role in the global fight against climate change. The seed of these changes may be born out of labs and boardrooms, but they will end up having significant geopolitical implications for those of us used to sitting in situation rooms. And that's the rationale behind the Global Energy Forum and at the heart of our task today. If you'll permit me, I'd like to read a message that I just received this morning from the Deputy Secretary of Energy of the United States, the Honorable Dan Brouillette, who cannot be here, unfortunately, but he did author a brief statement that I would now like to read. Dear colleagues and friends, I'm writing to offer my greetings and best wishes to the Atlantic Council and its leaders, to the gracious UAE hosts, and to all attendees of this year's Global Energy Forum. Regrettably, circumstances have prevented my attendance this year. Each year, this vital forum brings together key representatives of governments, businesses, and organizations to analyze and discuss the global energy landscape. In recent years, something monumental has been happening across that landscape. The world has entered in a new era of energy abundance, one that is filled with potential and astounding promise. If this era proves to be long-lasting, it could dramatically advance the energy security, the economic security, and the national security of countries and the overall well-being of humanity. This new era has emerged in no small measure due to the development in the United States. Once an energy-dependent country experiencing energy shortages, the U.S. now finds itself on the brink of energy independence and a rising exporter of its growing energy bounty. So what sparked this transformation in the United States, making the U.S. a major energy player beyond its borders? The question may be answered as follows. After a long battle in the U.S. between innovation and regulation, innovation finally prevailed. And innovation has spurred a technology revolution leading to the astonishing energy progress. Due to a cascade of technological breakthroughs, the United States uses energy more cleanly and more efficiently, obtains it from a wider range of sources, and produces it more affordably and in greater abundance than anyone predicted just a few short years ago. Many of these breakthroughs occurred at the national laboratories of our Department of Energy. Department of Energy's research aided the rise of hydraulic fracturing and horizontal drilling, as you well know, leading to a natural gas renaissance. It also led to technologies that dramatically increased energy efficiency. The DOE's Clean Coal Technology Program laid the foundation for technologies that produce clean energy outcomes. And beyond DOE and a number of our states, the same innovative spirit produced similar outcomes. By reducing taxes and holding the line on regulations, such states provided both the incentive and the freedom to innovate. Thus, from fossil fuels to renewables, supply rose, costs fell, and efficiencies increased. Today, the United States is the #1 producer of oil and gas across the globe. At the same time, thanks to innovation and technology, the United States has been leading the world in reducing carbon emissions, cutting them by 14% between 2005 and 2017, with further reductions likely over the next generation. And today, we export our natural gas to 32 countries on 5 continents, with more expected in the coming years. By exporting its energy, the United States is using its abundant supply as a tool of liberation, not subjugation. We are liberating allies from dependence on any nation that wield its energy supply as a political weapon. We believe all nations have the right to chart their own energy future and achieve energy security without being held financially hostage by other countries. And across the globe, the U.S. is promoting energy security among its friends, working with them to repel the malign influence of those seeking to undermine free markets and energy independence. In the case of Iran, the U.S. is partnering with regional players like energy-rich Iraq to ensure energy market stability. Iraq has the potential not only to achieve prosperity for itself through energy, but also to play a key role in strengthening regional and global economic stability. In Europe, we seek to strengthen the energy security and thus the economic security and the national security of our transatlantic partners, preserving Europe's achievement of being whole, free, and at peace since the close of the Second World War. We continue to seek a more inclusive approach towards a complete Europe, one that identifies threats to the transatlantic energy security and provides effective solution. To that end, Secretary Perry announced the Partnership for Transatlantic Energy Cooperation in order to give policymakers and civil society stakeholders the tools they need to promote prosperity and bolster energy progress and national security. In addition to sharing our energy bounty with others, we're also sharing the same energy technology and know-how that unleashed our own energy progress, and we invite other energy producing countries to do likewise. And as we do, we can transform societies caught in the grip of heartbreaking poverty and want. As they unleash their own energy, these societies can provide the life-giving power of reliable, affordable electricity, in some cases for the first time ever. Energy development can also ignite economic growth and foster development, creating jobs and other opportunities and providing the wealth to improve nearly every facet of human existence. So besides exporting our energy supply and know-how, we also intend to export the most important lesson we have learned on energy policy. For any nation that seeks to proceed to produce energy cleaner, more abundantly, more affordably, more efficiently, and in more diverse forms, it must allow innovation to work its magic, so all of these goals can be advanced. For any nation, there is no surer path to energy security than that of energy innovation unleashed by sound energy policies. And with energy security comes greater economic growth and opportunity, and with it, greater national security and peace. Because our policies are working in the real world, I'm excited about America's new direction in energy. I'm excited about what this means not only for the United States, but for our friends, our allies, and trading partners abroad. I'm excited about what this means for every nation and people that want to fulfill their dreams, for a better prospect, a brighter future, and a more prosperous tomorrow. And most of all, I'm excited about the prospects for every nation that is willing to embrace a better tomorrow by pursuing sound and sensible energy policies today. May this year's Global Energy Forum be a productive and successful one for its leaders, its speakers, attendees, and participating nations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now my honor to turn the stage over to His Excellency Dr. Sultan Ahmed Al Jaber, Minister of State of the United Arab Emirates and Chief Executive Officer of Abu Dhabi National Oil Company. Thank you so much for your attention.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of Allah.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to the third Atlantic Council Global Energy Forum. This forum, in fact, provides a very important platform for industry, policy, and academic leaders to engage on key energy issues in a very complex world. This platform also helps shape the global energy agenda for the year ahead. As 2019 begins, geopolitical and economic factors are weighing on markets around the world. And it is only right that we face this period of uncertainty with some caution. Yet, while global economic growth may slow down in the short term, the long-term fundamentals remain strong and robust. Prosperity is spreading from the traditional centers to the rest of the world at an unprecedented rate. This year, for the first time in history, most of the world's population is now in the middle class. And by 2030, there will be 3 billion new consumers. And as breakthrough technologies continue to enhance human progress, demand for energy over the coming decades will only increase. For energy companies, this multi-layered landscape, balancing current market conditions with future growth, requires a careful, calibrated, and an agile response. This means we must focus on what we can actually control through unwavering operational efficiency while staying ahead of projected demand as we enter the fourth industrial age. We at ADNOC are calling this mission Oil and Gas 4.0. For ADNOC, Oil and Gas 4.0 means embedding a tech-focused digital mindset within every aspect of our business, driving our performance, energizing our partnerships, and empowering our people. As we prepare for any market uncertainties that may lie ahead, minimizing costs and maximizing margins is, in our view, mission critical. By embedding artificial intelligence and digitization, we are building resilience and driving profitability across our operations. Predictive analytics is helping to reduce our maintenance costs, prevent shutdowns, and avoid system failures. Big data is allowing us to make real-time decisions in response to market movements and in line with industry trends. And blockchain is generating valuable efficiencies by transforming how we track every hydrocarbon molecule we produce, from first oil to final sale. Ladies and gentlemen, as we prepare to cater for the world's future energy needs, we are reinventing our approach to partnership. We are engaging strategic partners who will actually put skin in the game, bring new technologies, and open up new growth market opportunities for ADNOC. Through creative collaboration, we will maintain the UAE's position as the second largest oil producer in the region. In addition, and by thinking differently, applying technology creatively, and adjusting our business model, we will, for the first time, unlock huge reserves of previously uneconomical gas. In short, we have finally cracked the code that will put us on a path to gas self-sufficiency and ultimately transition the UAE to become a net exporter of natural gas. As part of our strategy to increase our oil and gas capacity, last year, for the first time in our history, we opened up a set of new onshore and offshore exploration blocks for competitive bid. The exploration area, covering 30,000 square kilometers, contains vast amounts of oil and gas. And today, I am pleased to announce that a consortium comprising of Eni and Thailand's public exploration and production company have just been awarded the first two blocks. These two offshore blocks, covering 8,000 square kilometers, represent the beginning of a new wave of exploration that will leverage our resources and further enhance Abu Dhabi's position as an essential energy provider to the world. Distinguished delegates, our new approach to partnership does not end with our upstream operations. It is also at the heart of our $45 billion investment downstream. As demand grows for plastics and polymers that will enable the modern world, we are working with value-add partners to stretch the dollar of every barrel we produce by moving further along the value chain. Partners will benefit from our existing world-class, fully integrated refining and petrochemicals asset base in Ruwais. They will have access to our high-grade, flexible feedstock and a dependable and credible business-friendly environment in the United Arab Emirates. And today, together, those partners with ADNOC, they will develop an ecosystem that connects refining, petrochemical, conversion, and manufacturing facilities into one state-of-the-art industrial hub. A hub that will only capture greater value from our hydrocarbon resources, maximizing return on investment and helping diversify the UAE's economy. Distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, at its core, Oil and Gas 4.0 is about transforming culture to enable organizational progress. This is helping make ADNOC a destination, in fact, a true destination of choice and an incubator of young talent. Young talent who are today actually rewriting the rule book of how the oil and gas company of the future should operate and should be run. By embracing rather than resisting disruptive innovation, we will be a leader, not a follower, more able to withstand unpredictable market headwinds and be a reliable partner for long-term sustainable growth. I thank you again for being here, and I hope you enjoy the next 2 days. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage His Excellency Suhail Al Matsuri.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, excellencies. Welcome back to Abu Dhabi and to the third edition of the Atlantic Council Abu Dhabi. It's really a great pleasure to see the number increasing year on year. It's something that we started building 3 years ago, and to tell you the truth, we did not anticipate the success. So I would like to thank Fred and his team for making this happen. I will not make my remarks long because I think General Jones, Fred, and Sultan have said the main things that aspire us to stay together here. I will shed some lights on how did we see 1 year ago, 2018, and what have we achieved, and how do we see 2019. If you remember when we met last year, the oil prices in the previous year was around $53, and this deal of OPEC and non-OPEC continuing to work together was a bit questionable. Are they going to stay together or not? The market was not, the investments coming back to the oil and gas market was a bit shaky. It was not solid. And today, we look at an average year of around $70 for Brent from 53. So it's remarkably a good year for the investors. And I think that what drove companies like ADNOC and others here in the region to embark on major projects for the next 5 years. ADNOC alone, if I'm not mistaken, put first $109 billion of investments and then complemented that with the downstream forum where they have attracted around $40 to $45 billion in addition to that. Same in Oman, same in Saudi Arabia, same in the other countries. So we manage as an industry to attract new investments, not only on the oil and gas, but I think in general in energy. We have seen great projects in renewable energy, in new technologies of the CCGT happening here in the region, and it's quite transformational. The thinking is transformational in the minds of the regulators. Now the regulators are convinced at the end to let the private sector lead in giving solutions and making energy more reliable, and we will focus more on the environmental side and making sure that all forms of energy in the future are cleaner. That's what we will do as regulators, and we will encourage this competition among different forms of energy. I'm confident that the geopolitics always going to play a key role in either making those investments or delaying such investments. Therefore, we are, as a country, a promoter of peace, a promoter of tolerance, and as you know, this year, 2019, is the year of tolerance. So within this year, you will see us as a country promoting tolerance and trying to promote peace and development in the Middle East, because we need to start that yesterday. The new generation, there are millions and millions of young people lacking jobs, lacking futures, and even lacking energy. So we need to help them see a better future and become a rather builders of their societies rather than joining some of those radical groups. The relationship between the Atlantic Council and the expertise of its members that brings here to Abu Dhabi is crucial. to help us see the future and to help us tackle and try to think together about some of those problems that we will see in 2019. There is definitely a more financial, a rather financial problem that we will face. We are in the future. We are almost at the beginning of a crisis that could happen in the next 2 years if we did not plan for it. And even though in the energy sector, I think we are on top of things, making sure that investments are coming, but there are other issues that we need to talk about and we need to address. And I'm sure during today and tomorrow and this week, the Sustainability Week, we will focus on some of those important issues, and hopefully we could bring some recommendations to the leaderships of the different countries who are participating here, trying to learn from this distinct group of the Atlantic Council, as well as some of the guests that we attracted this year. I look forward to the remaining of the program, and again, welcome to Abu Dhabi.